So, is God really an advanced AI? Could it be possible that this whole universe is designed by a very advanced artificial intelligence and we are mere players in it with or without our consent? If you look at it, the world is rule based. Uh, there is science that intends to discover the rules of the universe by looking at different phenomena, and it measures things and comes up with certain rules. From time to time, it has to update those rules. Sometimes they're called laws, like Newton's law. So they were discovered by looking at the nature and figuring out what are the rules behind them that is causing these things. So he discovered, for example, the law of gravity, and then that was modified later on by Einstein by introducing other variables in it. But we do know that the universe is driven by certain rules, and the science, if we know the science of these rules, if we can figure out these rules, then we know how everything works. And religion works the same way. Science is on for the external world, the religion is for the internal world, metaphysical. It tries to figure out, okay, if we think about something a lot, then law of attraction comes into being, where we are thinking about something bad going to happen, something bad going to happen. Then we start seeing evidence of bad things happening to people, similar bad things happening to people. We start paying more attention to it, and slowly we attract those bad things that we were anticipating happening to us, really happening to us. And that's law of attraction. There are many other laws like that. Law of karma is one of them. What you give out comes back to you. That's law of karma. The science rules can be tested by anybody because they are very objective. So the subject, which is the person investigating or the being, is not involved in them. So science rules are very objective. Anyone can test them and figure out the same answers, and that's how science works. Religious, or I should call spiritual laws, are more subjective. That's why they're harder to replicate, because there is subject involved, and every subject has subjectivity, which is different. It's not as objective, and based on the observer, things change, and that's why the laws of the universe in spiritual realm are not as replicable as science, but they are laws nonetheless. Anyway, so we know that the whole universe, whether we're talking inner universe or external universe, although they are all eventually the same, as above so below, but let's just differentiate them similarly for now, for the sake of this discussion. Universe is law based, universe is rule based, and it's almost like someone put these rules together and designed this simulation where we are playing whether we like it or not. There is a beginning to the game, you take birth, and then there is an ending to the game, you die, and those are the certainty. And then there are rules to the game. We just talked about those rules. Whether we know what rules are there or not there, the rules are to be discovered by us. So it almost starts to sound like we live in a simulation. We almost, which is designed not by us, but by somebody else. Or if it was designed by us, we have forgotten when we designed it and we entered into this game of simulation. Or is this simulation? There might be a purpose, and that's not the subject of this discussion. We also know that the world is holographic, and what I mean by that is the same rules that you have discovered uh, observing an atom or a small sample can be applied in different part of the world. It's not like you have to look at every single atom and then come up with a rule. You can take a piece of sample and do your experimentation, come up with laws and or rules. The same applies in the inner universe as well. As people investigate, people go within and figure out the rules on their self-observation, on their self-awareness, and those rules can be applied to other people. So it's holographic, it gets applied on a different layers. We see the planets moving around a star, and then we see, peel back a layer of onion, and then you see the atom where there's nucleus and electrons rotating around the nucleus. So we observe similar patterns again and again and again, and once you realize what the universal laws are, they can be applied in different layers of reality, different aspects of reality. So what changes? So object is always changing. That's why change is always constant. There's always change happening. Things are moving from one aspect to another aspect. We take birth, then we die, and then from that point on, the time is a constant, and time is one of the dimension of this reality, of this simulation. And a lot of people on a spiritual plane have said that time doesn't exist. And if you take their word for it, then we know that in this simulation, time is the driving factor and always move in one direction. Although in quantum physics now they're saying that it could move in either direction, but we do not observe time moving in both directions. We only see time moving in one direction. The only constant that there is this platform, or there is an underlying universe in which we are playing this game. So this program is constantly running and applying rules to all of our behaviors, all of our beingness, and that seems to be the only constant. The rules seems to be the only constant, and everything else changes. So it almost starts to look like a simulation. It starts to look like a computer game, where you can call it a computer game as well, where the rules are designed, the rules are constant, and beings and things and situations are changing based on those rules. So, is God really an advanced AI? I mean, based on all of this, one can say yes, God is an advanced intelligence, because there is so much intelligence built into this universe. It can't be random. I think we talked about it before. It can't be random. It's very intelligence. It's rule based. But calling God the infinite creator, because if there are rules, someone might have created these rules. So there has to be a creator. These rules didn't come about by themselves. And what is the nature of this creator, that we have kind of explored in another video, but it's not an objective being like you and I sitting on a throne for sure. But is that creator being is an intelligence for sure, but is it artificial intelligence, AI? That just goes too far, saying that it is artificial intelligence in the way we understand artificial intelligence. We have to use the words that are common today. And in my opinion, we cannot call it AI, even in a very, very advanced form, because what AI is missing is self-awareness. And we think we are self-aware. I think we are self-aware. And our self-awareness cannot come from something that is not self-aware by itself. So God, the creator being, has to be self-aware, intelligent, self-aware. So if we cannot call it an artificial intelligence in the way we understand it, it's very intelligent, because self-awareness means that's how we get the mystery in this universe, the mystery, the magic, the love. All of that comes from self-awareness, and are the real uh, those are the real stuff from which the world happens. The rest is all mechanical, rule based, but the real magic happens within the self awareness space. And that's why I would say that we there is a lot of intelligence, but it's not advanced intelligence like an AI would have. So God definitely is not in artificial intelligence the way we understand it because of self awareness.